Somebody take my card. Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ciera, and whether this is your first time or you're back for more, I'm so glad you're here with me today because today we are doing a good old-fashioned haul. I've been doing a lot of shopping over the past couple of months, and I have managed to keep everything in its packaging so that I could do this video for you guys. I don't know about you guys, but I love going shopping, calling my girl on the phone and being like, girl, look what I got. And that's exactly what this video is. So without further ado, let's get started. We can actually start with the beauty supply store because that's the smallest portion. I recently went to my local beauty supply store, and I'm not gonna lie, that place was overpriced. I should have known when there was no price tags on the items. Like, what's going on? I got these 4 items and it was $125. Like, are we okay? I was able to grab a few items that I think will come in handy during the hair vlog, especially trying out some new wash and go combos, so this is perfect. Starting off, I got this Miche Beauty. I've been wanting to try them for quite some time. I feel like they have been around for a while. When I first went natural, I was in college. I didn't have a ton of money to just go buy products and try everything out. So this has always been on my try list, and this is their gel to foam styling mousse. And gel to foam actually just sounds very interesting. I kind of want to see what the consistency of it is. It looks like a normal mousse. And it smells good. So yeah, I'm excited to try this one out. And honestly, for all of these items, I'm definitely going to be letting you guys know what I think of the items, doing reviews. It'll be tons of product reviews coming your way. I originally went to the beauty supply store for the Miche Beauty, but when I went in there, they actually had Bread Beauty in store, which I honestly was not expecting. I actually saw the founder's video where she was talking about the company, asking for feedback, and I am all about supporting Black-owned brands and businesses. When I saw this in store, I was like, perfect, I can finally give this a try. I got the hair gel from Bread, and this one is the curl capturing gloss. I'm just gonna open this up, but it says water sets your curl, hair gel locks it in. I don't know if it's just me, but this product list is extensive. I'm interested to see that, but it says to rake. Child, we'll get into what I'm actually supposed to be doing with the product when I use it, but this is what the pump looks like, and I feel like this is super helpful for when you have wet hands when you're doing your hair. So I'm excited to give this a try, and it just looks unique and sleek, so I think it'll look good in the shower. Even though I don't do my hair in the shower, I think it'll look good in the shower. So I'm excited to give this a try. I'm all about finding a good hair gel that actually works when my curls are out, that's not eco styler. I was also able to grab this. This is the Bread hair cream, and it comes in like this orange container. So I like how they all have different colors, but for this one, it just has elastic bounce leave-in as the description, and this is a pretty heavy container. This is really good quality, and it just has like this nice pattern on top. I kind of want to smell it. It smells good. It has a little bit of a, if you've ever smelled like really thick leave-ins, they kind of smell like Play-Doh to me. But it has a little bit of that smell, but it's not too overpowering because I've used other leave-ins where it really has that smell. I've gotten used to it with my hair products. I think it's something they put in really thick leave-ins that just honestly works. And of course, anytime I go to the beauty supply store and I need it, I try to grab an edge booster for my edges. This is the only thing. I typically love the Sweet Peach scent. This is like the only thing that can really hold down my edges in any kind of weather. I have tried a ton of everyone's favorites, like the yummy ones, the gummy ones. Child, I don't know, but it has not worked. I literally took my scarf off in the car. Foolproof. If you want your hair to be super slick, take your scarf off when you get to your destination in the car. But I took it off, and what do you mean I have flyaways? I've never had that with Style Factor, so for that, she will always stay in my collection. Okay, next we will head over to Ulta and go through everything that I got here, which is quite a bit. I feel like it's easy to shop at Ulta. Number one, because they have an amazing point system. Number two, because it's a good mix of high-end and drugstore affordable products. So it's really easy to kind of go crazy in there without spending too much, especially if you stay on the drugstore side of the store. I've been wanting to invest in some higher quality brushes. I feel like all the brushes that I have been brushes that I've kept through high school and college, and so it's time to finally upgrade. I've been out of high school for, you know, 8 years, and so I'm slowly trying to buy new brushes to kind of replace the ones that are really old and kind of falling apart, that were okay on quality but they were not going to hold up for a long time. I grabbed these Morphe brushes. This is the Morphe Iced Mocha 4-piece face brush set, and so it has like a foundation brush, brush, a concealer brush, a paddle brush, a paddle powder brush, and then a small rounded cream liquid brush. I also got this Morphe M109 brush, but I thought this would be good for applying foundation. Another one of my favorite brush brands is Real Techniques. So this is the Real Techniques Expert Concealer Brush, and I thought this would be good for blending out either my concealer or my color corrector. Ulta actually had a 20% off sale recently. I love to stock up on my normal favorites during sale time, as well as a few products that I want to try, and so it made sense to, of course, stock up on my Morphe brow pencils. You guys know I love these brow pencils. I use the shade Chocolate Mousse, and this is the Morphe Micro Brow Pencil, and I love that it's thin enough to really get into the details, but not too thin where it's breaking. I find myself using them all the time, so I love to buy them in bulk during sales because it's the only thing I really use on my eyebrows. I don't think I've used another eyebrow pencil in years. I got this LA Girl Pro Perfect Oil Control Multitasking Setting Spray with a matte finish. What a name. But I grabbed this. You guys know I use this. See, everything's already falling over. Jesus. But you guys know this is how much I have left in the other container because I use it in like every single video. I wanted to grab another one, of course, during the sale. They also had a points multiplier event recently, so another time to stack up on stuff because it'll mean more discounts and points and rewards down the line. Over on TikTok, I have a mutual named Ken. She makes amazing makeup content, but she recommended this Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Melting Bronzing and Sculpting Stick, so I wanted to give it a try. We have similar skin tones, so if it looks good on her, I know it'll be in the ballpark of what it might look like on my skin, so that's always good to know. First off, this packaging is so sleek and cute, and then when you open it, it just has like this gold packaging. I got this in the shade Chocolate Lava. I also saw this really cool under eye over on TikTok recently, so I got the Juvia's Place Blushed Duo, and this is in the volume 4 shade. It has like a dark pink. Let's just open it. So it has like this deeper pink on top and this baby pink on the bottom. It gives a little bit more editorial color wise, but I've been really wanting to play in makeup a little bit more recently, so I think that'll be perfect. I also am looking to kind of revamp my entire makeup routine, and so I grabbed some products that I think will work perfectly for that. So I grabbed the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base, and this is just like an all-in-one primer and moisturizer that I think will be good for prepping my skin when doing makeup. I've had a trial size of that before and it was pretty good. I thought I still had the trial size, but it might be somewhere around here. Y'all, my vanity is a mess. I feel like I reorganize it like every other week, but it's like we can only reorganize so many times before like we just need more space. You guys know in every single video where I do my makeup, I use the Juvia's Place Bronze Duo, so I grabbed one of these. I might be late to this, but apparently they're carrying Pat McGrath in stores at Ulta. I don't know if it's at certain Ultas, but they had it at one near me. I've always wanted to try her products, and so I grabbed one of her blushes. This is in the shade Paradise Venus. I thought it would look really nice on my skin tone, so I was able to grab this, but I'm definitely gonna go back just to see what other products she might have in store. Another thing I also want to start doing is like a full face of one makeup brand, and I think that would be cool for like trying things out on my skin tone. I think that'll also force me to try some new products and showcase them for you guys. So one that I am planning right now is to do a full face of Charlotte Tilbury, so I grabbed a few of those products in this haul as well, and the first one is the Charlotte Tilbury lipstick. This is like her Super Nudes, and this is in the shade Super Fabulous, and I feel like this will go well with the typical lip combo that I go for with like a brown to pinky nude kind of middle. But you guys know my go-to lip combo involves the Buxom full-on plumping lip cream, and this is in the shade Blushing Margarita, which is like that perfect pink to me. It's not like a baby pink, it's like a true mauve pink almost, and I freaking love that product. I would show you guys what it looks like, but I'm pretty sure it's in my purse. Also had NARS in store. They recently renovated, so I think they just have a lot more space for new brands, but this is the NARS Natural Matte Longwear Foundation, and I got the shade Zambi. I got this to mix with a different shade to kind of get my perfect one, but I was able to use my points on this, so this was actually free, which we love. I am also a natural matte foundation kind of girl. I typically don't go for something super dewy. I feel like if I want to add dew, I'll add it, but I don't need my foundation to be doing all that. However, in this haul, I actually got a foundation that's like a light reflecting one, so I'm excited to kind of try that out because it's really different. I'm kind of trying to force myself out of my normal, you know, my normal go-tos. I also grabbed this Too Faced Cloud Crush blush. What a name. But I grabbed this one. This is in the shade Tequila Sunset. The packaging on this is so cute. It reminds me of like the small compacts that you can have in your purse. This is what the shade looks like. You guys know I typically go for a peachy kind of blush, so this is so cute. I feel like it's still showing up just a little bit lighter than it actually is on camera. I have the Juvia's Place Blushed Cream Blush, and this is in the shade Wild Rose, and this one is again like a pinky kind of shade. We can just open it up, y'all. I've been saving this stuff to share with you guys, so I'm like, oh my gosh, I can actually open this stuff now. So this is what this one looks like. It's showing up a little bit more orange on camera, if I'm saying this correctly, but it's more of like a red pink in person. Yeah, and that's everything we have from Ulta, but I also saw that my local Ulta has Natasha Denona in store. I'm like, oh my goodness. So I'm definitely gonna try to go back on a day when honestly it's not like 100 degrees outside, y'all. It was 100 degrees when I went to Ulta for like in store instead of online. You know when you're just hot and overstimulated? It was giving that. I was just like, okay, like let's grab the makeup and go. I don't even feel like walking around the store. It's too hot and the AC ain't high enough. I'm just like, y'all. Okay, we have quite a bit from Sephora, but before we get into Sephora, I actually have two. Oh my gosh, wait, just kidding. I have two more items from Ulta. So these are the Maybelline Fit Me pressed powders, and they actually had buy one get one 50% off, and with the 20% off sale, it really just ended up being the price of one for both, and it worked out perfectly because I couldn't really decide which shade I wanted for my under eye. And so this one's a little bit deeper and warmer, and this one's just a little bit lighter for like a really bright under eye kind of moment. So I'm excited to try both of these out and see how they look on my skin tone. And then I actually got these two off the TikTok shop, honey. You know when y'all be seeing those videos and y'all be like, so many ads, who's even buying this stuff? When it was this one video, it was me, but any other time, I don't know who it'd be. So first off, I got the Tier Mask Fit Makeup Fixer, and I'm not gonna lie, I already have this one and I already haven't tried it. So why I got a second one, crazy. But they only sold this in a duo from what I saw. So if you wanted this one, you had to get both of them, and I was just kind of like, okay, whatever, because I really wanted to try this one out for a review. But this one is the Tier Mask Fit Waterproof Setting Spray, and so I've heard when you do a combo with both of these that it works really well. So I just ended up getting the duo since it was kind of like $2 or $3 more than the price of one, but like y'all could sell that as a single. But also maybe I didn't look hard enough. I was like, it's the video, listen, I'll just take it. So if you're seeing this before July 7th, Sephora actually has a 30% off of Sephora collection, and then 4 times the points for Rogue members. Rogue. Child, if you are like the highest tier, you can get 4 times the points. So I was able to get quite a few points. Another way to stack some rewards down the line. So first I got these cotton pads. These are like from Sephora collection. Y'all, these cotton pads are so big, number one, and they don't fall apart, because I've used cotton pads where like they just disintegrate in your hand and you just be like, what do you want me to do with that? They're so big and they're just really great quality, so definitely love to stack up on them during a sale. The sale also included Sephora Pro brushes, which if you guys know, you know a Pro brush can run you $30 a piece, so I'll take whatever discount you want to give me. So I was able to grab the Sephora bronzer brush, and this is number 88, and it's like this dome brush, which I think will be really great for blending out concealer. The brush I use now is just a little bit more fluffy, and I feel like this will give me more control of the product, so I'm excited to use that. I also got this Sephora face dry brush. I don't know, I feel like my skin recently, like I've just been needing to exfoliate more. It's clean, but like it could be a lot more smoother and cleaner. So I got that to try that on my face, but I don't know how I feel about dry brushing on my face, so I'm not gonna lie, I might wet that brush and then use it to exfoliate. Dry brushing just seems so abrasive. If you've tried it, let me know if, like, girl, I'm just being dramatic, but it just seems so like itchy ya. I don't know. I got another Sephora Pro brush, and this one is 70, and this one's gonna be really good for blending out foundation. I know what you're thinking, girl, the Morphe set had a foundation brush. I know it did, and when I was in the store I forgot, and I really want to try that brush. So if anything, one can be in my travel kit and one can be at my vanity. Now it wouldn't be a haul for me if I didn't get quite a few Danessa Myricks products. Yeah, Danessa Myricks has never led me wrong. First I got the Danessa Myricks Blurring Balm. This is in the shade 9.5, which honestly might have been the first face product that I actually used, like all of it. Like this is the one that I had previously that I was making work, and I was finna get to scraping the edges. And you know what? I still might. It's safe to say I really love this product. Like when it was full, I was using it every single chance I got. It's so light on the face. It's great at oil control if you're an oily girl. It's great at oil control. I have oil combination skin. Like during the winter, my skin gets to being dry, and during the summer, she's an oil machine. So, and then I also got the blurring balm in Universal simply because I wanted something that I could use underneath other products without using something that's like tinted in my shade. But I also have heard that I could use that by itself with no makeup. And like I said, I get really oily during the summer, and especially when I'm heading to work and I just really don't want to have on a full face of makeup at work. I feel like that would be perfect for just a ton of oil control, y'all. I be in the office and I'll like touch my nose and it'll just be oil. I'm like, bro, are we well? I got the NARS Glow Serum, and this is in the shade Juice Boost. I've seen other girls who have similar skin tones to me use this, so I'm really excited to give this one a try. I was also able to grab the Yummy Skin Barrier Boost. I'm not too sure what this does. I'm not gonna hold you, but like I said, NARS has never made a product that hasn't worked well for me. I would hate to think she would start now. And then lastly, for NARS, I got this Yummy Skin Cream Blush. It's called the Blurring Balm Powder, and it's in the shade Rose and Brunch, which is like that mauve peach color that I like to go for. So I'm excited to try this one out. What I really want to try is Creme Brulee, but she ain't nowhere to be found. I'm like, Danessa, I'm trying to support you, but I can't find her nowhere. Just kidding, I have one more. I also got my hands on the NARS Yummy Skin Water Powder Serum. I've been wanting to try this for quite some time, so I'm excited to give this one a try. I heard it's really good at like mattifying and priming before makeup, which means I am gonna have to put down the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. Y'all know I love that primer, but if they can beat that primer, then you're good in my book. I got the L'Occitane, I hope I'm saying that right, the L'Occitane hand cream. Y'all, I don't know if I'm late to this wave or what, but I was in the store, I was trying on stuff in Sephora, and I was trying on different shades. So I used makeup remover to like clean the back of my hand, and it was ashy, and I was like, I'm not gonna be walking around the rest of the day with ashy hands. So I was out with my friend and we were going out to dinner. So then I walk around and I see this hand cream out, like the sampler. So I'm like, okay, let me use this hand cream real quick. And kid you not, 5-10 minutes later, I looked down and my hands were like glowing. And I was like, what did I just use? And I went back and grabbed it and bought it immediately. I got the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation, and I got the shade 15 Neutral. And this is again, of course, for that upcoming video. So I'm super excited to give it a try, but I've heard really great things. So expectations are pretty high. If you've watched any of my full Get Ready With Me's, you know that I love the Huda Beauty Strawberry Cream Liquid Blush. And so I finally got the full size, y'all. We've been working with that travel size. We were making her work for a little minute. So I finally remembered to grab it while I was in store. I also got the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Concealer, but I actually got it in 3 shades. I got it in Butterscotch, Crumble, and Brittle. I wanted to give someone's makeup routine a try, and they used 3 shades. And I was like, you know what? If it doesn't work, I can always take it back, but 3 shades is crazy. In that routine, they also used 2 different setting powders. So they used the One Size Translucent, and then they used the Huda Beauty Banana Bread. And so I got the mini ones. I thought it was just more economical to see if I even like the product and get the minis, and then I can go back for the full size if I do. I also got the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Concealer, and this one I got in the shade 14. I'm hoping it's gonna work, so I might swatch it before I film the video just to make sure I can actually use it. And then you guys know I love the Haus Labs concealer. I use the shade 43 Medium Deep Golden, which the fact that I can tell you that shade without looking really tells you how much I use it. Also got the One Size Glass Setting Spray to give a try. I heard this one is like a powder melt spray, which kind of is similar to how I use the Milk Hydro Grip. So I'm excited to see how the two compare. But I've heard really great things about this one. But if I'm honest, I haven't seen an unsponsored video on that setting spray, so I'm excited to give that a try for myself. So I originally went into the store for the Milk Makeup Bronzer, but I couldn't find it, and I saw this one first, and they were also having 30% off. So I ended up getting this one from Sephora collection. It's the bronzer stick, and this is in the shade Life's a Beach. This might be the deepest shade they have, or if it's not, they have one shade deeper than this. And then if you have been over on TikTok, you have seen All About the Road summer collection, and so I had to get my hands on this one. I'll be doing a review for you guys. I mean, I'll be doing a ton of reviews for you guys, but I'll definitely be reviewing this Road Pocket bronzer because I'm really excited. I've heard she dries down quickly, but she blends out really well, so I'm really excited to try that. Another Sephora collection find is this Blush and Go cream blush, and this one is in the shade On the Bright Side. It's like this orangey peach. I would say it's definitely not mauve. It leans a little bit more orange. I wanted to give it a try. The applicator reminded me of the She Glam liquid blush, which I really like. Also got the NARS light reflecting foundation. I know I mentioned this one earlier, but I got this one in the shade Iguaku, so I'm excited to mix those two to get the perfect shade. I saw that was a recommended foundation duo, so I'm excited to try those two out just to see how I like it. I also got this Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. You guys know I have the matte one, which I've done a review on before, but I want to get the regular one to try out. I've seen some people use this to kind of set their creams after blending before putting on their setting powder. So I'm excited to see if that method even works for me, but also to see how I like this finish, just because it's not a super matte setting spray, which I normally go for. A friend of mine recommended this Haus Labs Hybrid Lip Glaze, and this is in the shade Macaroon. It's kind of like a pinky color, similar to the Buxom lip gloss one I have. So I'm interested to see how they compare, or if it has the same kind of color payoff. And then, of course, if y'all have watched any recent video, you know my One Size Coin Collector lip pencil is a nub right now, and so I had to grab another one of these. And then the Edam lip balm, I also grabbed this because I love this applicator, but the lip balm is a very nice texture. It's super thick, which especially when I go to bed at night, I love putting on a thick lip balm and just letting it sit overnight, and I feel like I wake up with the softest lips ever. So funny story, when I was shopping, I was going to buy this makeup brush set from Sephora collection, and I was looking at the brushes and I was like, do I want these brushes or do I just want the bag? And I was like, I just want the bag. So I ended up putting it back, and I was like, I can get a bag anywhere. And then once I got to check out, the sales associate, who I've seen many times when I've been there, he was like, hey, we were doing some chatting, and he was like, oh my gosh, do you want this Sephora collection bag? Like, we're giving them away for people who are buying like Sephora collection stuff. Absolutely. I'm like, yes. So I got the Sephora collection bag, and it seems to be a nice size. So I'm like, this is perfect. I can put my brushes in here when I'm traveling. So this worked out perfectly. And we're almost to the end, but we have a few more. You guys know I have been raving about the YSL Kiss Shaper lip liners, and so I went back and got that shade that I told you guys about. So I got it in the shade 110, which is the deepest shade, but it just works so perfectly on deeper skin tones, and it's so smooth. YSL 8 with this lip liner. This is actually my first Saie product, which I really want to try out their lip oils, but this is the Saie Fluffy Brush, and I don't know how they got this in here, because from the videos I've seen, this is a pretty fluffy like brush, but it looks like this right now. And once you fluff it out, I heard it's really good for setting your under eye without using a puff, which you guys know I'm a puff girl, but I want to give this a try. I also really want to have like a go-to makeup look for really like important events, and so I saw this Danessa Myricks Metallics Cream Pigment, and so I just got a typical gold metallic shade, which I'm excited to give a try. I've heard some really good things about these color pigments, and they have a lot of different shades that I honestly want to try out. So if I really like this one, which we all know how I feel about the Danessa Myricks, I probably will. So I'm definitely going to try out some other shades online. Also got this NARS liquid blush. This is in the shade Brash, and this liquid blush leans a little bit more brown. I haven't tried like a brown leaning blush on my skin tone before, and then again, no better time than a sale to grab a new beauty blender. And then I also got my hands on the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes palette. This is the original. Again, want to get into some more eye looks, and I love a matte eyeshadow look, and so I'm really excited to try this one out. Plus I like the fact that it's neutrals based, so I feel like that'll go good with a lot of different looks. And then last but not least, I got my hands on the Olivia Uma Milky Resurfacing and Brightening Toner Pads. I've seen that you can use this as a face mask because they're big enough to like put all over your face, or just toning pads. I've been looking for a new toner slash toner pads, so this is like a smaller owned brand in Sephora that I wanted to support but also give this a try. And that, girl, is the end of the haul. I am so excited to go through all of these products with you guys. Tell me if you've tried any of these products before, what's your favorite, or which one you want to see a product review on first. We'll have a lot of those coming up, but thanks for chilling with me and going through everything. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed just yapping and showing you guys all of this stuff. And as normal, bye girl.